Alright, welcome back. So this is somewhat of a drama type of video, which is something I haven't done in probably like a week or so. I've mostly been doing like game stuff or focusing on Kenobi, but this is something that's going on. So by this point, I'm sure you know everything that happened to Ackman and everything that went down in that situation. I'm not really going to talk about it because a lot of people have already made videos about it, and I don't want to make a video about something like 1,000 other people have made. I've heard if it's going to be like a big thing, I want to like get out the story, or if it's something that really needs to be talked about. But at this point, I mean, Philip DeFranco has talked about this. Like, this is something that's reached the top of YouTube, and I'm pretty sure he's going to get his monetization back. So I really don't see any need in me talking about it. But I do want to talk about this because it's a story that very much interests me, and figured it would be cool to talk about. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So this all started when Tommy C put out a tweet that said, "When I think about it now, at the Ackman YouTube tried to get Quantum TV kicked off of YouTube legitimately. I mean, Quantum TV intimidated and harassed his family. His ego could not handle that he didn't have the power to get him kicked. He then made a risky video and it backfired. A sad, true story." So this is something I disagree with. I don't think that Ackman had the intention of getting Quantum TV kicked off simply because of his ego. He did it because he didn't like what Quantum TV was doing, and he was like, hey, here's all the violations that Quantum TV is making. Here's all the bad things he's saying on YouTube and off of YouTube. So can we get this guy removed? And obviously it backfired on him. So the Ackman responded to this tweet and said, "Ew, the way you phrase this is intellectually dishonest. This wasn't about ego, it was about how YouTube could overlook mountains of evidence regardless of how many people provided it. But nice narrative you're trying to spin." So again, Ackman seems to be in the right here. At this point, I was completely on Ackman's side, but there is more to this. So Tommy C responded and he said, "Explain my dishonesty, bet you can't. How could my opinion be dishonest? This is my take, you can disagree about it, but what is dishonest about it? Thank you for proving my point. You can't take criticism. You deal with this like a child and deserve to lose, and you will." So Tommy kind of makes a good point. Like, how could you have a dishonest opinion? Like, I mean, you could be lying about what you really think, but I don't understand why Tommy C would do this, and there's a couple reasons for that. At this point, in this juncture, it seems like that's just how Tommy C feels. He's like, hey, this was an ego thing for Ackman. Personally, I disagree, but that's just how he feels. So this is where I started turning more from Ackman's side, sort of into the middle. I'm a little leaning more on Tommy C's side right now. And Tommy C put out a tweet that said, "I'm known for getting it right long before it became a thing. I'm Alex, first hint 2017. John Swan, first hit 2019. The Ackman, write it down 2022. So the Ackman responded and he said, "The smoking gun you are looking for that clears Quantum TV doesn't exist. If into the archives you search, only pain will you find." So we've got the Revenge of the Sith quote, which I always appreciate, but this is an interesting thought, and it seems like he was right about Ackman not being the best person, and we're going to get into that in a little bit. Now, I do want to say I've watched a lot of Ackman's videos, and I'm saying this like not at him, oh, Ackman should be banned off of YouTube. I'm saying this like this is something that he did wrong. Like, I'm simply calling him out for that. I would do it with anybody else. So Nicholas Diorio came out with the tweet where he made fun of the Ackman, and after making that tweet, he replied to it with another tweet that said, "Also sorry, not sorry. I am like obligated to leak this." And honestly, shout out to him for leaking this, because even though it wasn't really like the best thing to do, like as a friend wise, like this is something that you should not be saying as a content creator. Okay, the Ackman says, "Oh boy, Tommy C about to get a strike if I have anything to say about it." Why are you saying that? Like, why do you want somebody to get a strike? And this isn't something that's against the rules. You know, having a banned YouTuber on your channel isn't something that is going to get you banned. Now, if they're using your channel to constantly ban evade, then you will be banned and YouTube will take your channel. I actually learned this from Augie RC because I didn't know. I was like the Aquaman. I was like, oh, you had a banned YouTuber on. You're not gonna have your channel for very long. Like, this is something that happens to a lot of people. You gotta be careful. At this point, the Aquaman put out a tweet where he said, J Station just uploaded a video calling my mom at 3 a.m. This is real, LMAO. Then he responded to it by saying, clarification, it's obviously fake, he didn't call my mom. Act probably good that he made that clarification, considering how, like, the way he phrased it in the original tweet, like, it seemed like he actually called the Aquaman's mom, which would be insane. And I don't even know what trouble J Station could get in at this point. I mean, he's already banned off of YouTube and banned off Twitter. I don't know. Maybe the video that Tommy C puts out actually does get a strike. I don't even know what the consequences would be. I mean, Quantum TV didn't get any consequences for calling the Aquaman's mom, which was an insane thing to me. Like, why would you even involve the mother? But that's not what this video is about at all. So the reason I say that Tommy C is probably being honest here, and he doesn't like have this big love for Quantum TV, is that he's on multiple occasions said that Quantum TV like is a bad person and he doesn't like him. Like this YouTube comment right here where he calls him a trash bag, and on Discord where he says F that guy. So I mean, clearly he's not the biggest fan of the Aquaman. Now some DMs have came out between Tommy C and the Aquaman. I'll put those up on the screen for you guys if you want to take a look at them. All in all, I think this drama was completely ridiculous and completely unnecessary. Like, Tommy C was kind of wrong about the whole ego thing. I don't think that it was his ego. I think it was his desire to be like, hey, like, we have to police the YouTube community. This guy's a bad actor in the YouTube community. Let's take him down. And what ended up happening was Aquaman ended up getting the chop. But then he's reeling from all of this, right? Because, 2 weeks ago, he was like calling for this guy to get banned. And like now, he's lost all his monetization. I went to get like clips for this video so I could like show the Aquaman. And I went to click on his World of War video, and you're not even allowed to watch it. It was so insane. It's like this piece of YouTube history. Now, it's not like Content Cop got like taken down or anything, but still, like, Aquaman's like a big YouTuber, and that was a good video, and now nobody can watch it unless YouTube fixes it, which I do think they will fix it. But until they do, nobody can see it. And because of all these things piling up, the Aquaman like just is not in the right headspace. Now, I saw somebody comment that, hey, the Aquaman probably should have like a social media team or somebody that double checks his social media. And I agree with that person, because at this point, looking at what the Aquaman has been doing now on social media, he's not in the right headspace to be a public figure, because he's making silly mistakes that he would not be making if he was like in his quote-unquote right mind, which I think he's in his right mind now. He's just really distressed, with everything piling up all of a sudden on him. It's just a lot to take in, and I'm sure a lot of people out there would be going through similar things, not exactly the same, but similar things if they were faced with this kind of thing going on in their life. As for Tommy C, I guess I agree with him a little bit that the Aquaman isn't like doing the best that he can right now. I wouldn't say that it's ego. I can say that he will take criticism, just now is not the best time. I remember seeing in DMs that he didn't want to joke about his mom being called, which is really not that serious. Also, these were sent at like 4 a.m., which is a weird time to be up, like, at all, unless you're getting up early. But anyway, and this is a guy who's like 100% would not be like down for like telling people what they can and cannot joke about if this weren't like a serious situation for him, if this wasn't something that he was really, really going through. And we see that over and over and over again. And it's really been to his detriment. And hopefully he can get it all together, because this isn't something that should ever be happening. I mean, look at what Matt Jarbo did for something like this, like trying to get videos taken down, right? If he went on that kill stream, we've all seen the clip, you know. Like, this is something, this type of thing, something that we've all decided in the YouTube community, hey, this isn't something that you can do. It's wrong. It's wrong to take down videos just because they criticize you. I mean, Pokemon's caught flack for it. You name them, right? All the people who have gotten severe criticism for doing something like this. Now, it isn't as bad, but still calling for someone to get a strike is bad in general. Now, the Ackman did come out and say that he's calmed down, and I think that's pretty good, because in my unprofessional opinion, he was just flying off the handle, overreacting, just not able to center himself very well, and because of that, he cost himself a little bit in his reputation, because this is something that's going to kind of stick with him for a little bit. Now, people will be a little bit more forgiving. I mean, I would be a lot more like harshly critical of him if this were something that just out of the blue happened, out of nowhere, and he was just like, Tommy C, how dare you make a joke about my mom? How dare you, like, let's just say he was criticizing the video, right? Like, and then the Ackman was like, ooh, Tommy C about to get a strike. I would instantly be like, you're wrong. You're 100% wrong. I would come on here and I would say that. But in this case, I feel like it's simply the Ackman overreacting, having this overly emotional response after he feels like his mother was threatened. So, you know, it takes a little bit of nuance to really think through these types of things. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up my entire opinion about the entire situation. Thank you all for watching. I really and truly appreciate it. Goodbye.